Hello friends. I'm going to start you over here by the stove and hopefully finish you somewhere else. We're going to make something called a veggie forward tomato spinach crustless quiche. It is it wouldn't be a video without me rubbing my nose. It is delicious. I've made this over and over again. So what I want to do is soften up some of the vegetables that are going in. So start with me. I've already took out 4 scallions and I'm going to cut the bottoms off. I line them up like, can you see me? Yep. Line them up, garbage. Line them up, garbage. Then I peel it back. You'll see there's one always semi-soft looking leaf. I take that off. Always the one on the outside. Once you've done that, you've got a nice dry, clean, nothing in there scallion. I've already rinsed them earlier before I even started. So the garbage pile's over there because I didn't remember to put my garbage bowl. So I'm going to chop these up to start them in here with approximately 1 tablespoon of olive oil. The object is to get some vegetables softened up, and then I'll make the quiche mixture while these are getting to room temperature. So I'm cutting up my scallion. They're running all over the place. They're saying, don't put me in that pan. I don't want to go in that pan. I'm going to be hot. I'm going to be sweaty. I'm going to be dyed. I'm nuts. Okay, now the vegetables talk. In case you didn't know, the vegetables are talking. Maybe I should have chopped before. Scallions are going in. They are going in. Normally, I have been chopping up. Nobody survived. They're all dying in here now. Normally, I had already had chopped up things. My garbage is behind me. Next is going to be my mushrooms. So I take my mushroom base out. You don't have to. Sometimes I save them and chop them up and put them in the mixture. I have some mushrooms. I'm going to have a spinach salad, so I want to save approximately 4 mushrooms for that. So I'm going to use 4 mushrooms in my quiche. Again, if you hate mushrooms, that wouldn't be what you put in. Notice no salt, because I don't want salt in my mushrooms yet. They're going to brown. I just stay to the right of my pan and chop and drop. Another Rachel Ray trick from when I was probably 20, maybe. Rachel Ray used to do 30-minute meals. My mom went and saw her at the YWCA in Gloversville. And this was one of the tricks. The garbage bowl was the other trick. So guess what? Sometimes people teach you something, and it sticks with you forever. So now look at my garbage bowl. Is the mushroom base. I'm going to get a clove of garlic. Speaking of Rachel Ray, she was never without her garlic. So, of course, it's going to require me to have a brand new bulb that's going to be like 9 million. We're talking about a big clove of garlic. So then smash. Again, this is a Rada knife, but not the one I love. I'm not putting it in yet because those are not even close to being where I want them. What we're going to do is I got bacon cooking in the oven. I'm going to show you how that comes out from the oven. I didn't like that end. That was a tough end. Now I got all my garlic together. I chop. And I chop. And I chop. Again, I do have the jar. Can you even hear me? I do have the jar of garlic and oil in case I've ever run out of fresh garlic. But I try not to run out of fresh garlic. I love it. Still not small enough though. You want it small enough so that nobody bites into a big hunk of garlic. Or at least anybody that you care about. Unless you like them and they love you and they'll forgive you. Sometimes, there, that looks pretty darn good. Now I'm going to put it all on my knife. And I'm going to leave it sit there for a minute. My knife becomes my scooper. Whereas this is my stirrer. I haven't done any seasoning to this yet. And you'll see why. I want that to caramelize a little bit. A little black pepper's going in. Actually, a lot of black pepper's going in. This is going to be a quiche. It's going to be 8 servings. Again, I am with the spinach. So you've seen me do a pita pizza today with fresh spinach and zucchini and mushrooms. You're seeing me do a quiche. I'm gonna save that much spinach for my salad for lunch. I'll do that later. I'm gonna move my garlic back. This will wilt down. It will. I'm gonna put my garlic right on top of that spinach, because by the time that spinach wilts down, the garlic can be ready to toss. Does this make sense to you? So we had 4 scallions, 4 mushrooms, 2 handfuls of fresh spinach, black pepper, a tablespoon of olive oil. That's not it. There's more. I'm trying to see what else I got around me. Nothing. That's all that's going in that right here. It's wilted. It's going to go to nothing. By nothing, I mean it's going to turn down to maybe a cup size worth of vegetables. My mushrooms are looking good. The scallions, all of this is flavor. Soon I'll be able to turn that off and you'll hear me better. All of this is flavor. Bear with me, folks. And now we have mushroom, garlic, onion, steaming up, done. I'm gonna turn it off. You are not gonna believe it, but I just paused from the stove to over here. I tried that earlier with my pita pizza and my phone went off. So I think you have to turn that setting off where your phone automatically turns off. And I did make, I want you to see my lunch pita pizza. This is that early morning or afternoon pita pizza with pesto, zucchini, mushroom, spinach. It's going to be in another video. It came out delicious. The bottom is delicious. It's still warm. It's going to be like my lunch today. But we are on to the quiche portion of the quiche. So I want you to write this down, because once you know this, you can make any quiche you want. This is a crustless quiche. You can put it in a crust if you're not being carb conscious. If you are being carb conscious, write this down. It is 4 eggs. So with that, I think I talked about it. I have a pasture-raised egg. Maybe this is weird, but I use them to eat for my breakfast. Then I buy regular eggs, not regular, whatever Aldi brand eggs are. So we're having 4 eggs. I buy regular eggs when I'm baking or I'm making something that in bulk. Does that make sense? I can't afford to do pasture raised at $6 a dozen to just for everything. I just can't afford that. So that's 4 eggs. Whisk them. Not totally to death, but when I tell you healthy and high carb, healthy and high protein, we're not messing around here. So again, the possibilities are all yours. What you put in this quiche is all yours. This is the base. You're going to use 4 eggs and 2 cups of cottage cheese. So bear with me. Once it's baked, you don't have lumps. If you're a cottage cheese hater, you don't have lumps of cottage cheese. I'm actually going to do the measuring. Even though I know half of a container is 2 cups, I don't think I have, and I don't. I have only a cup left, a little more than a cup left in this one. So it calls for 4 eggs and 2 cups of cottage cheese. If you stop right there, then add in whatever vegetable, meat, or cheese you like. Whatever flavor you like. Whatever onion, garlic, parsley. You could do, what other flavorings? Let's see. Before I put any vegetables or meats or anything. You don't have to have meat. No meat. If you don't want meat, you don't have to have meat. This recipe doesn't have meat, but I make it mine. So now I have a different brand of cottage cheese, which doesn't seem as lumpy. I need another cup of this. So, this one's Aldi's. The first one was Daisy. I know these are good because I've done this quiche a million different ways. I've done bacon, Swiss. I've done the one it's called for, and I'll show you why. I'm keeping this dirty spatula because I'm going to use it in a minute. And then you whisk this cottage cheese into the eggs. Your base is not in your view. Yeah. You whisk the cottage cheese right into the eggs. And I am going to put this in a foil quiche pan. It's a deep one and it has a lid because I'm going to semi-bake it and then I'm going to freeze it. The reason is that I'm not eating this today, but I like to have them made when I have my vegetables from the summer. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I mean, the black cats are everything. I like to have these quiches made. My daughter loves them. I have put them in her freezer when she started work. Not this year because I stink. I'm just awful. I don't know. I've been tired. I don't know what I've been doing. I guess videos. So hopefully she forgives me. I'm going to throw this in my sink. As I said, I have bacon cooking and it's done. Hang on just one second. I just want to show you, if you cook your bacon on a pan, in a sheet pan, it stays as completely flat. I'll show you. It stays completely, perfectly flat. And this is the thick cut Smithfield. So I had opened the pack this morning. The slices never come out better. You don't sit frying and burning yourself. I'm just going to put my oven back on. As usual, there is garbage behind me. I take the lid off when I'm doing a video because then I can just toss. Or sometimes I move it out of your sight so that it's right here. Let me just put my oven back on because I am going to par cook this quiche. Now, remember, I had 4 eggs, glasses on, and 2 cups of cottage cheese, and we have this delicious creamy mixture. Now comes the goods. After I clean up a mess to make room for the goods. So, remember what we did before. You want that there. It's now room temperature. This was 4 scallions, 4 mushrooms, a clove of garlic, and 2 handfuls of spinach. It's going in. This is a delicious recipe. Now, you could have put, I did zucchini earlier. I've done zucchini in my quiches. You can do ham and cheddar. You can do anything you want. It's your quiche. It's your kitchen. I am mixing this in so that all of it's not in one spot. And then comes my flavors. I like one little splash of dry mustard. I don't know why. It gives it something. It gives it something. I am going to take, it says shredded cheddar, but I'm not going to shred today. But I'm going to show you how I do my cheddar. I'm going to take 4 ounces, so half of this little block. Am I lying to you? Probably. Nope, I am not lying to you. 4 ounces. And then I'm going to cut this little block, 4 ounces of cheddar, into little squares. I don't want this to be just taste like cheddar. I want to taste the other stuff that's in it. So I'm going to taste my veggies. I'm going to taste my cheddar. And I am putting 3 slices of bacon. So it's going to be a bacon, cheddar, vegetable, quiche. There's more. There's always more. And now I'm dicing this little chunks up into little chunks. Yeah, I could have brought the shredder out, or I could have brought the food processor out. But honestly, I've done it like this every time, and it kind of gives you like a bite of cheddar here and there. I have Swiss in my garage freezer and fridge. I should have went and got some of that. A little Swiss in your quiche is like scrumptious, totally scrumptious. So now, you with me so far? I've got 3 slices of great bacon. I'm going to cut that up and add it in. So now we have a bacon, and you don't have to. It could be ham, it could be sausage, it could be meatless. Again, Lisa, here's a high protein quiche for you with no crust, so there's no carb from that. What you do to it is endless. I will tag you again, Lisa. This might be something you like. If you are dairy-free, this obviously isn't for you. There goes 3 slices of bacon. And because I am fortunate, I still have tomatoes from my garden. Are you anti-tomato? Because this recipe, the original recipe was just spinach, cheese, and tomatoes. I use the base, the 4 eggs and the 2 cups of cottage cheese. I use it to my own, whatever I feel like making, whatever I have too much of, whatever I want, whenever I have things. This is a great brunch quiche. I serve it with a fresh fruit salad, which you're going to see me make soon. I love it. To me, having a piece of this quiche, it's still not done. You'll see. There's a surprise. There's a surprise that it's still not done. So it makes one big full-size quiche. I put it in my app. Here's where it gets interesting. The original recipe calls for a diced tomato. Let's hope. This is from my garden. I let them sit there. We had to pick them all because we had a frost. Whoa, he fell right in place. He fell right where he was supposed to. Let me move him over. Are they he's or she's? I don't even know where I refer to these things as. So you see where I'm going with this? I take the tomato and I make it on the top as the design. And I have another one. This looks perfect, actually. I didn't add any salt. I know. You guys add salt. If you like salt, add salt. I don't, because their cheese has salt. I like black pepper, which I did add. This tomato is almost done. He's almost done his job. And I got another one, so he's going to look like an oddball. We're going to see. Maybe one more slice. If you're not a tomato person, like I said, don't put it on. What do you think so far? Looking pretty darn tasty. Here's where it gets interesting, and this is their recipe. In this little bag, oh, never mind, I gotta do something first. Dry my hand. Dry my hand. I got tomatoized hand. This is my black pepper. I'm gonna pepperize my tomatoes, give them some flavor. And then the recipe says some Parmesan cheese on your tomatoes. So I somewhat do theirs, just a little first. Remember, theirs was a tomato and cheese crustless quiche. In this little bag, the original recipe said to take whatever crouton you had. I had sourdough. I only had a little left. That gets sprinkled on. So you could do whatever crouton or no croutons. If you want it to be no carb, you don't put the croutons on. But it does give it a little flavor and a little crunch to the top, because remember, you don't have a crust. And just because I said so, I'm going to add a little bit more parm. Then you bake this, and I'll tell you their instructions. Let me put it in the oven. Oh, first let me have you look at it. It is a crustless quiche. It's very heavy. They come out perfect every time. Original recipe, passionate penny pincher. Crustless tomato, there's no picture. Crustless tomato, spinach quiche. Bake uncovered 45 minutes at 325. Remove from the oven. Oh, her recipe says remove from the oven and sprinkle the croutons on, and then an additional 15 minutes. That's not what I do. My oven's at 375 and I bake it till it's done. And I'll let you know. So right now it is, I'll let you know when it's 45, I'll let you know when it's done, how long it takes at 375, because that's what I've always baked it on. So are you with me with that? We had 4 eggs, 2 cups of cottage cheese, protein, 3 slices of bacon for the whole thing. It makes a lot of quiche. When you're done, you can cut it in 6 to 8 good sized pieces. Then you've got 4 ounces of cheddar cheese, or any cheese of your choice. Swiss, I've done Swiss and cheddar, mix them. That's what Martha Stewart does for her mac and cheese. The recipe's great. It's yours. You guys take that cottage cheese and eggs and add what you like in it. What vegetables do you want to use up? But saute them up a little in the pan. The scallions and all that stuff, when I soften them up and caramelize them, they give them more flavor. So mine had mushroom, spinach, scallions, garlic, and then I put it in there with the cheddar cheese and tomatoes on top. It's all good from the earth food and good for you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a longer one because I finally figured out how to pause in the middle. I tried before with the pita, but my phone went, the screen went black because I have that setting that says after so many seconds, shut it down. So I'm an idiot. But I love you. Thanks, and have a good day.